when I was in yeshiva, on Chavetz Chaim yeshiva, the Chavetz Chaim has a lot of branches. And I was in Eretz Yisrael for 2 years, and after that, I ended up in Queens. Queens was the main branch where there was a kollel, and back then the Chavetz Chaim main mother branch, the motherhead, was in Forest Hills. I don't know if any of the girls here know Forest Hills, New York. They were in a very old, decrepit, broken down building, and they desperately needed a new building. So when I came there in 1999, towards the end of 99, I think, or maybe the year 2000, I came to this building. There was no room in the dorms, in the dormitory upstairs for the guys, because they just didn't have room. They would rent out these on top of storefronts. They had apartments for rent down the block, all the way on Metropolitan Avenue over there. This is a horrible area. And they rented these, these small dinky apartments for the guys. We would have to walk every day. The lunchroom was tiny. I'm talking about like from here, if you go down to where the mechitzas are, this area, and there was about 350 to 400 people in the yeshiva and the kollel. You would have to take turns. Most people just gave up. They wouldn't even eat in the lunchroom. They would take their food and go eat somewhere else. There's just no room. The Beis Medrash was so packed. We were packed like sardines. I vividly remember sitting in the front. I had my seat, and this guy's other chair, he was leaning with another guy back here. So my chair is here. I'm trying to learn, and his chair keeps knocking into me because there's no room to move. Everyone was going crazy. And all the entire Hanhala, all the rabbis, kept on going to the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Henech Leibovitz Zatzal, saying, Rabbi, we need a new building. We don't have money. He didn't even have money how to pay the payroll of the rabbis and the Hanhala. It was very rough. So my Rosh Yeshiva was a big Babi Tachel. My Rosh Yeshiva, he never had any children. He was happy as can be. He gave such crazy advice on how to raise children properly. He lived his life. He said he worked on the Shar Chovat HaLevavot, the Shar Bitachon, over and over again. His whole motto in life was Yeshuat Hashem Kerafayim. That the salvation of Hashem will come Kerafayim in a blink of an eye. Like he kept on there, don't worry, it's going to work out. Anhala is going crazy. We need a new building. Don't worry, it's going to work out. Yeshua. And there's a sign. There's a 70-year-old sign. If you go to Chavetz Chaim in Queens now, on the yeshiva office, this old sign that's all like brown and yellowish that says Yeshuat Hashem Kerafayim. Now look what happened. The Hanhala, one time it came on a discussions with the Rosh Yeshiva. The yeshiva would send out calendars. Now these calendars, you get from different places, a small tiny little calendar, you go through with all the Jewish holidays, when Shabbat would start. Someone in the Hanala brought up to the Rosh Yeshiva, I think we should get rid of these calendars because it's an extra expense. We're paying for, what's the point of this? So Rosh Yeshiva asked, are we covering the cost? He said, pretty much, we're a little bit short, maybe a couple thousand short. It's like, no, continue doing it. Why? He says, but you don't know who gets these calendars. There could be people that are not really religious, and they want to know what time Yom Kippur starts, on the fasting, or someone semi-religious wants to know when candlelighting is for Shabbat. It might have some benefit. Keep the calendar. And they tried to argue with him. No, it's pointless. I'm telling you, it's a waste of money. No, keep it. Look what happened. Short time after that, they get a phone call in the office where the office secretary picks up the phone. And the office secretary, this is going back a good 25 years ago. The office secretary picks up, and the person on the phone says, can I speak to Rabbi Leibowitz, please? So she says, he happened to be in Shi'ur at that time. He's in the middle of meetings. He's in the middle of, and I could take a message. She says, no. I need to speak to him immediately. There's something very urgent. So the lady says, I'm sorry. He said, I'm telling you, this is worth his while. Tell him to come to the phone. She feels very uncomfortable. She gets one of the rabbis, can you please go tell the Rosh Yeshiva it's an emergency phone call. I don't know what it's all about. The guy said it's an emergency. The Rosh Yeshiva comes and is always into midot and sensitive to people and everything else. And he comes to the phone and he asks, yes, hi, this is Rabbi Leibowitz. He says, Rabbi Leibowitz, I'm calling from this and this organization. And I have to let you know that someone just passed away by the name of so-and-so, and they left in their will $20 million for 3 people. 2 of the names are so-and-so, whoever they were, and one of them was the yeshiva Chofetz Chaim. The yeshiva was like, huh? Are you sure you got the right place? Yes, you're Leibowitz from Rabbinical Seminary of America and in Forest Hills on this street. He said, yes. To make a long story short, it was a guy who had $20 million. He was a loner, a loser of a person in life. He even lived like he was probably not normal. He lived in a trailer. He had $20 million to his name. I kid you not, this is a serious story. This is a true story. He lived in a trailer. He had $20 million to his name. No one cared about him. He had no family. He left $20 million in his will. The yeshiva got $6.5 million from that. They bought the property in Queens. If you go see a magnificent, beautiful building in Queens now, in Kew Garden Hills, is the money that they use as a down payment to buy that and build that building, humongous 5-6 story building with a magnificent base medrash that everyone is housed in. Why? Because of a stupid calendar that they even wanted to stop sending the calendars out. But the yeshiva said, no, my dad was on what? And after the yeshiva heard this, he came out of the office. He wasn't surprised. He went to the Anhala, and with a smile, he said, I told you Yeshua Hashem clarified. I told you Hashem could take care of it. The reason why the Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva exists is because of such a story. And it's a man who has such crazy bitachon and Emuna in Hashem.